Yo, what's going on everybody, Yugioh for it, and we got a lot of news we've got to cover here because a lot of new things have been revealed. So let's get started. So first up we have Go, Aristeria, and Dexia. So it's a rock, level 4, 0 attack, 2200 defense. Want to control another Go monster. Your opponent cannot target Go monsters you control for attacks or card effects. And exceed monster that was summoned using only this card and other Go monsters as exceed materials gains this effect. When this card is exceed summoned, you can target one face-up attack position monster your opponent controls, change it to defense position, and if you do, its defense becomes 0. Not too bad of a card, really. It adds more to the Go-Go's and making the deck a little bit more better. Nice target for things like Go Giant, so you can just pretty much get over big annoying threats. So I like the card. A lot, and it's kind of cool. Next up, we have Infernity Bishop. Yeah, it looks like a kind of a weird hyper librarian. Anyway, it has 1000 attack, 2000 defense, low 4 dark. You can only spell summon Infernity Bishop by its procedure. It's called procedure. I guess to me by its effect once per turn. If it's the only card in your hand, you can special this card from your hand. If you have no cards in your hand, when an Infernity monster or monsters will be destroyed by battle by card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. So it's a nice, good card to help protect your Infernities. Sadly, this won't put Infernities back on the map because, Archfiend and all that, but it's a nice card for Infernities nonetheless. Because they still have Archfiend. I believe they still have Archfiend at 3 in OCG, so that's actually a really powerful card for Infernity decks. Next up, we have Wicked Priest Shalam Sabak. It looks pretty cool, if I do say so myself. It's a level 8 Dark Reptile with 2500 attack and 0 defense. You can only use the second effect of the Priest once per turn. If you have 5 or more cards in your hand, you can normally send this card without tributing monsters. So it's actually not too bad, when this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special this card from your graveyard in defense position, but it becomes a tuner monster. So it becomes a level 8 tuner monster. Okay, I don't really know what decks this would be really good in off the top of my head. I'm sure there's some wacky combo somebody will come up with that make this card super OP busted. I don't really know. But that's an interesting card, and I'll probably fit it with it, when it gets on dev. The next we have Galaxy Worm. It's a level 3 light insect with 1200 attack and 1000 defense. When this card is normal summoned, if you control no other monsters, you can special summon one level 3 lower Galaxy effect monster from your deck, but its effects are negated. So this would be a nice. I know it says Galaxy, no Photon Saber Attacker. Damn it, you ruined all the fun, Konami. But I think it'd be kind of cool to see how this actually works. And it doesn't really say except for himself, so that's actually not too bad. So I guess it's sort of like a tour guide for the deck. That's not as good, but still, it's not too bad. And then, of course, next up we have the Insight Magician, which is a new card coming out next month, so we don't know anything on that just yet. So to continue on with the news, we have some pretty cool Duels of Destiny cards. We have some collector packs cards, and we have Lord of the Red, which I love the artwork. It's freaking Joey Wheeler in his Red Eyes Black Dragon armor. It's freaking awesome looking. But it's a level 8 Fire Dragon type ritual effect monster with 2400 attack, 2100 defense. So same attack defense as the typical Red Eyes Black Dragon. But once per turn, when a card effect other than Lord of the Red is activated, you can target one monster in the field and destroy that monster. And the second effect is, once per turn, when a card or effect other than Lord of the Red is activated, you can target one spell trap on the field and destroy it. That's actually really not that bad of an effect. Consider the fact that if your opponent is active like MSC or something like that, you can now pop a monster and pop one of their spell and trap cards. Because it does not say you can only activate one or the other. So that is actually really, really cool. The fact that it says this. So it makes this ritual monster very powerful for the Red Eyes deck. And next we have Red Eyes Transmigration, which basically allows you to ritual summon a Lord of the Red from your hand by tributing monsters you control or have and your hold's total level add up to 8 or more, or by banishing a red-eyes monster from your graveyard. So there's plenty of red-eyes monsters in the graveyard, so it's actually really cool. So that's actually, in my opinion, a really nice addition there. Next up, we have the Toon Ancient Gear Golems. They're releasing some more Toon cards. They're releasing some more anime cards. This was an anime card in GX, and I was wondering when they're going to release this, as well as the Toon Kingdom. But the Toon Ancient Gear Golem pretty much has the exact same effects as Ancient Gear Golem, but it cannot attack turn as summon because it's pretty powerful in terms of attack. If you control Toon World and your opponent controls no Toon monsters, this card can attack it directly, so typical Toon effect, and it has the usual effect of Gear Golem that in attacks, your opponent cannot activate any spell or trap cards, and inflicts critical damage from attacking a defense position monster. So same effects of the Ancient Gear Golem, but just added Toon-like effects. So, and it looks pretty cool. I like the Toon eyes it has there. It's really nice. And next we have the Toon Kingdom, which is a field spell card. When this card resolves, banish the top 3 cards of your deck face down. This face-up card is treated as Toon World. 2 monsters you control cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects. If a Toon monster you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish 1 card from the top of your deck face down instead for each monster that will be destroyed. So it protects your Toons, which is really nice. I don't really get the whole banish face down type of deal. Maybe there's some new Toon cards they're going to come out with that take advantage of this mechanic of the Toon Kingdom and other things like that, but it's a pretty cool effect. Then we have Legendary Knight Hermos. It's kind of a typical cannot be summoned by Legend of Heart, just like Critias. But when this card is special summoned, you can target 1 face spell, trap card on the field, and banish that target. Once per turn, when this card is targeted for an attack, you can target 1 effect monster in your graveyard. Until the next end phase, this card's name becomes that same as the monsters and gains the same effect, which is really not that bad. It's actually not that bad of an effect. But, of course, you have to have Legend of Heart. In order to use Legend of Heart, you need to have all 3 Legendary Dragons in your hand. So that is kind of a bummer. But speaking of dragons, we have the Claw of Hermos, which the artwork looks really nice. They changed it from the show, which I like. Pretty much, they kind of changed the artwork of Tamiya's as well, to where you just saw its head. But in the anime, you saw his full body. In Hermos in the anime, you only saw his head, but now you see his full body. I kind of wonder why they did that, but Hermos does look like a freaking badass. I love his artwork a lot. But pretty much, you can send to the graveyard 1 material monster, list on a fusion monster from your extra deck that can be special summoned by the Claw of Hermos from the hand or field if that monster is set revealed. This special summon the fusion. So basically, they're going to release some Claw of Hermos fusions with the Red Eyes by Dragon and stuff like that, so it's actually pretty nice. And then we have Legendary Critias. So yes, we're getting the final 2, which is really nice. When this card, and the first effect is the same as Hermos, there's no point going over it. But when it's targeted for an attack, you target 1 trap card in your graveyard, send it to your side of the field, and it can't be activated during the turn it is set. So that's actually really nice. It reminds me of the anime in the show where Yugioh used the effect to bring back Mirror Force and use Mirror Force. So that's actually really cool, and the artwork is really nice. And of course, we can't have Critias, the Legendary Critias, without the Dragon Critias, whose artwork pretty much has remained the same. And, you know, it was a badass artwork anyway. But pretty much, you can send 1 trap card listed on a fusion monster card that can only be special summoned by the effective thing of Critias from your hand or your side of the field to the graveyard. So, looks like I might get freaking Doom Virus Dragon and Tyrant Ring Dragon and all that stuff. So, it's going to be really cool. So, I hope they bring out those fusions. It's going to be nice. And then finally, we have the Knight of Destiny, which is the fusion of all 3 of the knights. You don't use polymerization, and he looks awesome. He looks like how Sonic looked in freaking Black Knight. That game was awful. Even freaking Super Sonic in that game. Even though he did look pretty badass. Anyway, this card is unaffected by the card effects. During damage calculation, this card attacks or was attacked. You can have this card. His attack and defense become the same as the attack of the monster on the field with the highest attack. When this card is destroyed by battle, you can special summon 3 Legendary Knight monsters from your hand, deck, or graveyard, ignoring their summoning conditions. So that's actually really not too bad of effect. Sadly, it says by battle, not just by card effect. So if you Dark Hole Regeki this thing, you're not going to get the effect. But at the same time, it's a pretty cool thing, and I'm going to have fun trying to build a deck based around the Knight of Destiny and the Legendary Dragons, because I think it will be hella fun to actually play. And just as a nice remnant of the past thing. So we're almost done, guys. Almost done. We got some more core cards. We got some more Red Eye support, which this thing is a fucking badass. Look at this! We have the Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. That is a freaking badass looking monster. It's a generic rank 7, only requiring 2 level 7, so Murmurs can bring it out. And assuming Dragon Rulers don't get banned, and TC, by the time this card comes out, you can use it in things like Dragon Rulers. But it's 2000 attack, 2500 defense. This card with Exceed materials cannot be destroyed by card effects. While this card has Exceed materials, inflict 500 damage to your opponent each time your opponent activates a card or an effect. So it's not too bad there. Once per turn to either player's turn, you can attach 1 material from this card, then target 1 Red Eyes normal monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So now the Gemini Red Eyes monsters actually have a reason to be in the graveyard. You have a reason to use them. So that's actually not too bad. Now, the problem with this is it's going to be kind of hard to get them in the graveyard since Geminis aren't counted as normal monsters in the deck. So the new Red Eyes Fusion spell card won't really work on them. But it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Next up we have Toon Cyber Dragon, which is pretty freaking cool. I think the art looks really, really awesome on this thing. I like the look on Toon Cyber Dragon, which wasn't in the anime, so this is actually a brand new card, and I can't wait for them to make any more Toon versions of some of our old classic cards and favorite cards from GX and 5Ds and stuff like that. They think would be pretty cool. But if your opponent controls a monster, you control no monster, you can special this card from your hand. This card cannot attack turn in which it was summoned. If you control 2 world and your opponent does not control any 2 monsters, you can attack directly. So it's still a nice good Cyber Dragon. It's another Cyber Dragon you can actually use. And it's not counted as a Cyber Dragon? I don't believe so. I guess maybe it is, it's Toon Cyber Dragon. I don't know, we'll have to see the rulings on that. But it'd be pretty cool if you could play like multiples, like 6 Cyber Dragons in a deck, like, oh shit. Even though you technically already can, but still, you know what I mean? That would be really hilarious. Next up, we have the Black Metal Dragon, which is really freaking awesome. It really does. It's a level 1 Dark, 600 attack, 600 defense. If you target a Red Eyes monster and you control, equip it to this card. Equip this card from your hand or side of the field, it gains 600 attack. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 Red Eyes card from your deck to your hand. So this opens up a lot of plays and possibilities in the deck, so that's actually really cool. Next up we have the Ignite Stinger. So we have a Stinger. That's actually really cool. We're getting more gun type of things, and you know, we're out there not gonna like guns in TCG because, you know, oh, we can't have these guns manipulating our children and making them violent. Ooh. I don't know what's going on, but to me it's kind of stupid. But anyway, it's a level 8 Fire Warrior type effect monster with 2000 attack and 2300 defense. You can target 3 Ignite cards you control, destroy them. If you do, special summon this card from your hand. Once you return, you can target 1 other face-up Ignite monster you control, return to the hand, and if you do, put 1 monster your opponent controls on the bottom of the deck. So another boss monster. You know, again, not too bad. I think they will probably get better boss monsters in the future, but I still want to build a deck and fit it with it. I think it's a really cool concept of a deck, and I really cannot wait. And I'm definitely going to call it the freaking FPS deck, because it literally is just a bunch of guns that you typically see in generic first-person shooters like Call of Duty and Battlefield and stuff like that. So I think it's pretty cool. So you have Ignition Phoenix, which is really cool, and I don't know why every time I see this, I just think of Heartbeat Phoenix Formation. I don't know why, just my weirdness. But anyway, it's a field spell, and Ignite monster that you control gain 300 attack and defense. And once per turn, you can target 1 Ignite card you control, destroy it, and if you do, add 1 Ignite card from your deck to the hand. So that's not too bad, because, you know, Ignite cards, and maybe the pendulums will go to the extra deck, so you can easily just pendulum some of them back. So it allows you, it's a great way to actually deck them, and allows you to add an Ignite card, which is really, really cool. Too bad you can't add the field spell. But we have Ignite Burst, which is a card you can add with a field spell. To continue this trap card, and once per turn during your main phase, you can choose up to 3 other Ignite cards you control and destroy them. Then return a number of cards the opponent controls up to the number of cards the opponent... up to the number of cards the opponent controls in the hand equal to the amount of cards destroyed. So, again, nice utility for the deck. You know, they get to the Pendulum Zone anyway, so you're not really losing anything out of it. Would have been really amazing is if they returned to the deck instead of the hand, so to me that would have been better, but still a pretty interesting card nonetheless. Now we're getting some really broken shit here. The first Exceed and first actual monster that belongs in the extra deck that is a Pendulum monster. And boy, they did not disappoint with this one. No. So we have the Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon. It is a scale of 4, level 7. With 3,000 attack and 2,500 defense. That is actually really scary. But the fact is fucking stupid. Once per turn, if you do not have a card in your other Pendulum Zone, you can place one Pendulum monster from your deck in your other Pendulum Zone. That is crazy. And some of the cards require 2 level 7 Dragon type monsters. You can't just go... Actually, it's generic in a sense. Dragon Rulers. Ban these guys now! Tell my teaching, ban. That's another good reason to ban these bastards. This fucking piece of shit. It's actually really good. If you can Pendulum Summon level 7 monsters, you can Pendulum Summon this face-up card from your extra deck. And of course, it's a Pendulum monster. If it's destroyed, it goes to the Pendulum Zone, so you can continuously reuse this shit. Which is annoying as fuck. If this card is Exceed Summon by using an Exceed monster as Exceed material, destroy all level 7 or lower monsters your opponent controls, and if you do, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent for each destroyed. During this turn, this card can make 2 additional attacks during each battle phase. No one's really going to be doing this part of the effect because of the fact that you just better, again, if the Dragon Rulers are not banned, like they are in Ocean, then you're not banned in Teaching. When this comes out, you can use this in that type of deck. But if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect in the monster zone, you can destroy all cards in your Pendulum Zones. And if you do, place it in your Pendulum Zone, so it allows you to use the first effect, which is really nice. Now you need to go ham and only Pendulum Summoning. So now we have some more Magicians, so this will help out the Mancies, in my opinion, quite a bit. So this is a scale of 3. Pendulum effect is once per turn you can target one Exceed monster you control. During this turn, that monster can be used as Exceed material for an Exceed summon that would use a level that is the same as the rank of that monster. So its utility for the Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon, just like how pretty much in the anime, it allows you to do that. These 2 cards are pretty much utility for these 2 cards. And pretty much the monster effect is once per turn during either player's turn, you can target one light monster on the field, negate that monster effect until the end of the turn. Really, no one's going to use this monster effect all that much, but it's a scale of 7, so you can summon it off of these 2, which is actually pretty nice. Then we have the archer here, or Sojun. I can't pronounce that, but it's going to be called a Magician or a Mancy and stuff like that, so it's actually pretty cool. But it's another scale of 8. Once per turn, you can target one Exceed monster you control and one level 5 higher monster you control. Until the end of the turn, the rank of that Exceed monster becomes the same number as the level of the level 5 or higher monster. So pretty much how they did in the anime was pretty much you use Dark Rebellion Dragon and Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. Use her effect to make them level 7, then use his effect to exceed them, and just kind of cool stuff like that. If you control no more cards than your opponent, the scale of this card becomes 4. Which is kind of a downside. But your opponent takes no battle damage from battles involving this card with the monster effect, which, I don't say a point, I think it's 500 attack. It's not like it's a big freaking hurt or life points. But once per turn, you can target one other monster on the field until the end of the turn. The attack of this card becomes equal to the monster's attack. Okay, that can do that too. It's actually not too bad. So next up we have DDDDDs. The power of the DDs. Some more DD support, but I think I'll cover that in another video. Finish up because I don't want to make this video super long, so I think I'll cover that in a third video. So anyway, you can give me your thoughts on the cards I talked about in this video. I really like them a lot. I think it's gonna be pretty interesting. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video.